Is masturbation secretly sabotaging your life? Here's why you should reconsider masturbation. We're told it's normal, even healthy. But have you ever stopped to ask, how often is too often? At what point does something that seems natural start controlling you? What happens when it becomes more than just a habit and starts interfering with your life, your energy, focus, and relationships? Today, we're going to dive deep into these questions and explore why this seemingly harmless act might be leading you down a dangerous path without you even realizing it. In this video, we'll uncover the science behind what happens to your brain when you indulge too often. And more importantly, we'll explore a powerful, time-tested philosophy that can help you regain control. Stoicism. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and turn on the notifications so you don't miss any of the valuable insights we're about to share. The science behind the pleasure trap. Let's start with what modern medicine says. Masturbation is natural. It's not just humans, animals like dogs and other mammals do it too. But this wasn't always the view. Historically, masturbation was seen as harmful, immoral, even dangerous. For men, it was thought to waste vital energy, preventing reproduction. For women, it was feared to lead to independence, distancing them from men. There was even a widespread belief that excessive masturbation caused physical diseases. While we now know those health fears were overblown, a new issue has come to light: addiction. And this is where things get serious. What we know now is that masturbation activates the same pleasure centers in the brain as addictive substances like alcohol, nicotine, or drugs. The key player here is dopamine, often called the brain's feel-good chemical. It's the same chemical released when you eat something delicious, accomplish a goal, or experience sexual pleasure. But here's the catch. It's also what can make you addicted. Dopamine creates a sense of reward and relief from stress, which feels great at first. But with repeated exposure, your brain starts demanding more dopamine to feel the same level of pleasure. Over time, you find yourself needing to masturbate more frequently just to feel okay. It's not just about pleasure anymore. It's about escaping the discomfort of not having that dopamine hit. This is when something normal turns into a compulsion. At this point, you might start seeking more extreme ways to satisfy your cravings, whether through watching more explicit pornography, engaging in risky sexual behaviors, or even seeking out multiple sexual partners. And all of this just to get that same initial feeling of release. The hidden trap, what's really going on? Let's talk about the trap. You see, what starts out as an innocent habit can escalate into something much more damaging. While it might help you fall asleep or reduce stress temporarily, excessive masturbation chips away your willpower, leaving you feeling more drained and disconnected. Your relationships suffer, your productivity plummets, and you're left chasing that next dopamine hit just to feel normal. And here's where it gets dangerous. Once your brain adapts to this constant dopamine flood, it actually starts blocking your receptors, making it harder to feel pleasure from the very thing you're addicted to. You become frustrated, anxious, and eventually trapped in a cycle of needing more but getting less satisfaction. Think about it. How many times have you felt guilty or empty after indulging in this behavior? That's your brain sending you signals, telling you something's wrong. Yet the compulsion drives you back again and again, reinforcing a sense of failure and helplessness. This is the exact same cycle seen in other addictions, whether it's drugs, alcohol, or food. And like those addictions, the more you indulge, the more your sense of control slips away. Enter Stoicism, mastering your desires. Now let's turn to a different approach. What if there was a way to break free from this cycle and reclaim control? This is where the wisdom of the Stoics comes in. Ancient philosophers who mastered the art of self-discipline, self-awareness, and control over their desires. The Stoics, like Seneca, Marcus Aurelius, and Epictetus, believed that real strength didn't come from indulgence, but from mastering your desires. They saw the pursuit of pleasure, especially when it becomes compulsive, as something that enslaves the mind. Instead of being in control of your actions, you become a slave to them. But the Stoics didn't advocate for repression or denial of pleasure. Instead, they taught balance and self-awareness. Epicurus, for example, argued that while pleasure is natural, it's not endless indulgence that leads to a good life. It's the ability to control yourself and enjoy pleasures in moderation. Seneca emphasized the idea that true freedom comes from mastering your desires, not letting them master you. In the context of masturbation, this philosophy isn't about demonizing the act itself, but understanding its potential to control your mind and divert you from your true purpose. The Stoics teach us that every action has consequences, not just for ourselves, but for the world around us. When we succumb to compulsive behaviors, we disrupt the natural harmony within us. We become prisoners of our own desires, disconnected from the things that truly matter: our goals, our relationships, our inner peace. Reclaiming control, a path to inner peace. So, how do you break free? It starts with mindfulness and self-reflection, principles deeply rooted in Stoicism. Instead of running from your emotions or numbing them with temporary pleasures, confront them head-on. Ask yourself, why am I doing this? What am I avoiding? What is this costing me in terms of my happiness and fulfillment? Through mindfulness and meditation, you can begin to recognize these patterns and slowly regain control. It won't happen overnight, but with consistent effort, you can break the cycle. The Stoics remind us that true peace comes not from indulging in fleeting pleasures, but from mastering them. It's about living in alignment with your values, not being pulled in every direction by your cravings. Let me share a real story. I know someone who struggled with compulsive masturbation for years. They felt trapped in a cycle of momentary relief, followed by regret and shame. It wasn't until they discovered the teachings of Stoicism that they realized they had the power to change. By practicing self-discipline and focusing on their goals, they were able to break free from this habit and live a life of greater peace, fulfillment, and authenticity. Take back control. The power is in your hands now. Ask yourself, are you living the life you want, or are you allowing these fleeting pleasures to control you? Are you choosing short-term gratification over long-term happiness? If you're ready to take back control, it starts today. Here's what I want you to do. Right now, in the comments, write this affirmation. I am in control of my mind. I choose actions that improve me and move me closer to my goals. By doing this, you're taking the first step toward breaking free from the cycle and reclaiming your power. Remember, true satisfaction comes from living in accordance with your highest principles, not from indulging in temporary desires. Don't let compulsion steal your future. Take action today. Thanks for staying with me. If this message resonated with you, make sure to like the video and subscribe for more content focused on helping you live a stronger, more fulfilling life.